Spaces Sims, and we are back with more of the Sims for Kindred Spirits, and Salem is here hanging out because, would you not stop disappearing, because you need to be here, because we got a little bit, you're kind of a little pertinent to finding out some more of, he just fucking pieced out and left me, didn't he? God damn it. Could you, no, he's gone. Okay, never mind. So anyway, you know what, Salem? I just, fine. Because there's some more, like, he kind of has, look, we told you in Salem's story kind of about him and, you know, his little affair with the spellcaster's wife and, like, all that stuff like that. And you kind of already know that, like, that spellcaster kind of was the one who instigated and kind of started the warring between the spellcasters and the Ayakashi spirits, right? So, Salem was involved in that. So, and the funny thing is, I was like, I guess we didn't, I don't know if we went over this in Salem's, because I didn't highlight it like we said it, but anyway, I mean, that original spellcaster, I'm calling him OG spellcaster, I don't know his name, look, I did probably should have thought about that with the backstory, he should have had a name, but like, whatever. You know, who's this lady? I don't care about you. Oh, you're an evil lady, we don't like you, we're not answering the door for you. No way, Mo, get out of here. Anyway, so he was already kind of losing his mind and was already like, whatever. And then, you know, kind of overpowering himself, like trying to gain all these powers, and was kind of already like borderline batshit. Okay. And then, you know, his wife cheating on him and, you know, kind of dealing with, I don't really know if we went into this too much. Let me check. I got a million pages in my book. Let me flip before I get in here. I'm going to spoil a little bit if we haven't gotten there, but kind of dealing with like bullshit from Gale's family. I think we kind of already went through that, you know, wait, so I don't know what we did in Gale's route. Oh, wow. I guess we didn't. Okay, so we kind of didn't, and we'll kind of get into that more. But, like, he kind of had some bad dealings with Gale's family. Because we kind of already know Gale's family was, like, kind of shady and shit like that. We'll kind of get more into the Gale family side of it when we go back and visit him for the last time. But, you know, that kind of shit that he was dealing with, his wife cheating on him with his brother, he was already like overpowering himself and kind of losing his mind. And that was where the snap was, right? So obviously we kind of already knew that spellcaster kind of lost all sanity, lost all reason, started the war. And for all those different reasons. And he kind of was obviously like hate-fueled rage, went after, he basically killed his wife. He blamed Salem and all of the spirits, right? It was like, it's all their fault. Like, not, you're a little crazy and you drove your wife away, but like, don't cheat, kids. So seriously, it's terrible. But anyway, so that's kind of like he started the war. And Salem should have been here for this because, you know, I mean, we've seen him, but it's been a while. But if you remember, he does have some scarring and stuff like that. And that is from being in the war. He was around in the OG war, right? Like other spirits might not have been alive that long ago. Salem really was. He's the oldest spellcaster. Even though most of, like, our spellcasters in the town don't really know that about him because he keeps that secret. Abel knows. We know. But anyway, so that's that. And we already kind of know that Salem is actually the one, he divined a prophecy. And so he knows all of the information about said prophecy because he's the one that divined it. Like, because, you know, whatever. And in that prophecy, obviously, come on. We're like, did you think there wasn't going to be one? I feel like that's pretty standard. This is not like, I'm a genius, I came out. Like, that's pretty fucking standard. You have any kind of, like, fantasy setting, there's always a fucking prophecy in the special. And obviously, Yuki's the motherfucking special, okay? So, we already know, you know, spellcaster was tricked by Gale's family. He was pompous, vindictive person. He kind of started to spread hate for the spirits because of the stuff he dealt with Gale's family. Then everything that he went through with his wife cheating on him and that, all of that. So basically, war. Okay, we know that. But that OG spellcaster is actually one of Yuki's ancestors. So Yuki is descended from this line of the spellcaster that kind of started the war with the spirits. And he's the one that needs to end it. Now, obviously, there isn't actually like a war going on, but there's still like we hate them and like, don't you cross my line. North, you stay in the north. You don't come to the south. That's like the only thing that came to my mind. Sorry. Anyway. So the spellcaster, so that's that. So, and now we've brought back Raiden, and he's not here, which would be helpful, but he kind of disappeared, but like, whatever. Look, I don't have a lot of time. I'm going to be gone this entire week that this is up, so I have to record everything in advance and a little bit of next week in advance because I won't have time to record. So these parts might be short and quick, and I'm sorry. Like, I was really thinking about it when I planned this out, but anyway. So Raiden is actually evil. Dun dun dun. I'm pretty sure you fucking knew that already. I'm pretty sure you didn't. That was not like a what? No. Pretty sure you could guess that. Look, none of this probably guessed all this shit, okay? Because, like, I did not, like, try very hard. Like, oh, I'm going to make it really mysterious. We're going to try to... I wrote all the backstory. We slapped it all together. We did this. It's pretty obvious to figure shit out, okay? Like, we're going on a formula here, basically. Like, I'm not... Look, I'm happy with their backstories, but, like, the plot line is quintessential fantasy plot line. Someone's got to be evil, and you're like, it's that character. It's always that fight. And then it's like, it's that character, and you're like, oh, no way. Like, I'm not any better. Anyway, so Raiden is evil. He was basically sent here to kind of spy on and eradicate the spellcasters in the village. So he was plotting and doing some evil things in our basement that we have, And, like, all of our Ayakashi boys that we've met, they all kind of figured this out because they're not dumb as fuck. Like, they're pretty fucking smart, and they kind of fucking knew. But see, the spellcasters have been, like, for a long time, spirits are stupid, blah, blah, blah. They're hyping themselves up because they don't know anything about the spirits. They only know what came down from above from the OG evil man, right? Obviously there are some spellcasters who are like, I don't give a shit, like, whatever, and are doing their own thing. But there is a sect of these, like, we must eradicate the spirits that are, like, worshipping OG evil spellcaster. It's like a dark cult kind of a thing, right? And, of course, they're not going to think highly of spirits, and they're not going to think, like, oh, that they're smart. They think, the spellcasters think they're better than the Ayakashi spirits, right? So... they send Raiden in, like, oh yeah, Raiden's, like, really powerful. He can go in and do all this, thinking, like, great, he can sneak in, blah, 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 like, kill them all. Not realizing that the spirits obviously have kind of trigger warning, like, things up so that they know when spellcasters are around. They kind of know the shit. They're not stupid. They can sense that. Like, especially Abel, like, stealing all of, like, the artifacts and stuff, like, is a little more in tune with, like, I can figure, and, like... Orion helping him find them. Between the two of them, they're pretty good at picking out, like, wait, spellcaster energy, this is weird, So they kind of picked up that Raiden was a spellcaster, and, like, Raiden had to come into town, blah, 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 and, like, set up you couldn't just come in and start blasting, you know what I mean? There's innocent people, but, he was plotting and whatever, but our boys figured it out. They're not stupid. They're fucking intelligent. And Raiden and the spellcasters are, I hate to say it, they're a little slow on the uptake thinking that they were smarter than the spirits. It was their pompous, arrogant attitudes that was their downfall, right? So obviously, there was a fight, and that's why Raiden is dead. Okay? The spirits killed him. Our boys killed him. And, like, but his ghost stays because obviously he had unfinished business here. He doesn't remember what it was. And now that Yuki's brought him back, he's starting to remember things. And like, wait a minute. I am evil. Mwahaha. Twirls mustache. Does he have a mustache? Should have given him I should have given him the twirly mustache just so he had the evil mustache. So it would have been obvious. Like, way obvious. More obvious than it was. Damn it. Fail. Anyway, so basically, because he overestimated his own power, and he is basically, like, part of this longline cult, right? Of like, spellcasters. I always want to say spellcasters when I mean spirits, and spirits when I say spellcast. Like, good lord. Hopefully you're following my anti-logic here. What is wrong with our cat? Kitty, what is wrong with you? You're fine. Kitty, you're fine. All right, cat's fine. Oh, you know what you should do? Can you feed the poor cat? Because, like, Kitty needs some food. Anyway, like, this is boring. We're just watching Yuki, but at least you're getting some backstory, right? So Raiden is, like, on a long line of those that have basically taken in the soul and essence and being of the OG spellcaster. Don't ask how they did it. I don't fucking know, okay? I didn't go that in depth. But, like, when he died, his spirit was still around, just like Raiden's is around. You know what I mean? And then, like, his creepy, weird followers did some kind of spell thingy, and, like, now they're just, take his essence. It's weird. It's creepy. It's a little gross if you think about it. But, like, so it gives you more, it's more like you get more power. You're getting all of his raw energy. Because it wasn't like, hey, my ghost is going to hop in your body. It was more like, this is his raw emotion and power and energy. Which also, by the way, is angry and crazy. So it makes you a little, you know. So it makes your evil really, it makes you really good at being evil, though. I'm just saying. So he's kind of a long line of people who has taken in that energy. Because you need to have, like, I guess a good evil spellcaster base. I don't know. Like, look, I don't know the logistics. They don't tell me this shit. I'm not part of the cult, okay? Like, whatever. Just telling you the weird things that some people have figured out, but we don't know all the logistics because nobody wants to join this cult. It's crazy. You know, and Raiden was that one that takes it on. And then, like, technically Raiden's not the only one, but, like, you have to have, like, you can't just throw this energy at any old person. They're going to explode. But, like, Raiden was, like, harness the energy, and he could do it, and it's, like, one of those things that, like, some people try, and then they die, and then, like, but Raiden could manage it, right? So, like, Raiden is powerful, but he died and forgot everything. So, I guess the question being, does Raiden remember all of the powers that he has? Did all of his powers disappear? Did the evil spellcaster energy dissipate and go away when they killed Raiden? Like, what happened? And I don't know if I have an answer for you because I didn't really think about that until now. Sorry. You know, so basically, you know, anyway. Yeah. Okay, yeah, alright, so I just need to read my notes. So basically, like, Raiden, like, was like the leader of the cult, but not really. Like, there obviously are quote-unquote leaders, like the higher people, but he is the, I guess, the mascot, if you want to say, because he's the one with that energy in him. So he's, like, the special for them. And, like, Yuki is obviously not part of this cult. Like, he has no idea about any of this. But, God, or was he? We don't know. He doesn't know. Yuki remembers nothing. And that's what, so, like, him being the special, obviously, is why he's not dead. Because after they defeated Raiden and everything, they put a curse on this house. Because they knew, okay, like, the spellcasters, these fuckers are going to keep coming. They sent this one douche. And if they send any more, they're sending them to this house. And the second they walk through the door in this house, dead. Like, there is, like, a dark curse on this fucking house. Like, look, they ain't messing around, okay? Like, so, you're going to try to bring a war into my fucking shit? You're going to get a shotgun to the face, I guess. It's, like, kind of, whatever. I don't know. Pick some analogy. So they basically, there was a curse on this house. Yuki should have died, but he didn't. And that's why, you know, they weren't, like, mean to him. They didn't, like, try to kill him or anything like that. They were more, like, curious. Especially Abel. You know, like, we put a curse on this house. And, like, This bitch rolled up in, and maybe he's not a spellcaster because he's not dead, and it would only work on spellcasters, right? It's not like a normal human walking into this house wouldn't die, and obviously the Aikashi spirits wouldn't. You're a spellcaster, dead, right? But Yuki is the special, and was prophesized to help end the war, right? So it's kind of like that's why he didn't die, but they weren't really sure when he first kind of rolled in town. They're like, well, he's not dead, so maybe he's just a human. Like, I don't know. And that's why they started to get to know him. And so again, that kind of goes back to like Abel falling in love with Yuki, but wasn't actually intending to do that. It was supposed to be like, he was like, oh, like, I'll just be flirty and nice and like whatever. And this way I get some more information, and everyone was going to be like kind of friendly with him before they got to know him. Just basically treat him like, maybe he's a spellcaster, but like, how do you get around the thing? But like, let's just treat him like he's a normal new guy in the neighborhood and keep our eyes on him though. Hackles raised, keeping our eye on you. But they actually grew to kind of really like Yuki, like, and it was one of those things that for a while they kind of all debated, like, is he a spellcaster? There's no way he's a spellcaster. He's too nice. Like, and like, he doesn't hide anything. Like, Yuki was never hiding anything. He wasn't like being shady or weird. Like, Raiden was always, like, they knew Raiden was a spellcaster when he fucking rolled in, but it was the, like, he acted shady and suspicious. Like, you could kind of tell he was up to shit, Again, it's because he was so cocky with stuff. But, like, Yuki was just, like, a pure innocent soul. But it's weird because it's like, they sent spellcaster energy, and then Yuki walked into this house, but it's like, but does he not know he's a spell? Okay. I mean, because, like, they can, like, and I mean, I feel like they would have, since they could sense the spellcaster energy, it's not like they could just look at someone and be like, spellcaster, but they knew, like, with Rain, like, there's a lot coming from this air. It's gotta be, like, they're not, like, but, like, with Yuki, he didn't have any at that point, because, I mean, he does have spellcaster energy, but he forgot everything, so it's kind of like, is he a spellcaster? Like, it feels like, but it could just be leftover, but it doesn't make sense, because when Raiden was killed, it was gone, and, like, but Yuki is like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, Yuki doesn't remember anything. So they were like, well, I mean, I guess. But also, those that knew about the prophecy were also very much like, wait. So if he's a spellcaster and he walked into this house and he's not dead, is he like the prophesized one? And that's why they started getting closer to him, like all of them. And that's why, if you notice, I didn't set it up like this, but there was always somebody at this motherfucking house. Somebody's always asking him to do stuff. They are trying to keep him from, especially when they kind of was like, wait, he's doing some kind of magic in that fucking house. We need to, keep an eye on him. So everyone, every single time, let's go learn some spell. Oh, you're inviting me out. Oh, you showed up at my house. And I feel like as he trusted, like, all of our guys, everybody in town, his friends, I feel like he would have started saying something, especially to Abel. Like, I apparently can do shit, and I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and he is starting, I think, maybe to get memories back. But, it's still one of those, was he in this evil sect because he is a descendant? But here's the weirdest part. So, obviously we can figure, because we kind of already said that Elphaba and Simeon are evil as fuck. They are kind of like the leaders of this evil cult. I think they were like leaders with Raiden, but they could not take in that OG evil spellcaster energy like Raiden could. Maybe they got a little taste of it, but like pushing themselves to their limits where they could have almost died. And like, meanwhile, Raiden could take it all. So like, I don't think they might not begrudge Raiden being dead too much, because they're like, he was going to be a little pompous and a dickbag, and they're a little bit jealous, because I feel like even everyone maybe in this creepy, weird cult is like, and I don't think Yuki was really part of the cult. Yuki is too innocent. you but they kind of knew that he had the OG spellcaster, he was like descended from him. But I don't think they knew that to begin with. Because Yuki's whole past is kind of like a bit of a mystery. He didn't just grow up with the spellcasters like normal. I mean, he did grow up with normal, but it wasn't until he started developing his powers as he got older that's where they kind of started sensing, like, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Because the descendants of that OG spellcaster kind of got lost. Like, they didn't even know they really existed. Because, like, I'm going to guess that his wife kind of hid that baby. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, how's that wife going to know when she has his kid? Whose kid is it? And I think she knew, if I don't hide this kid, he's going to kill it because he's going to assume, and I think she might have assumed it was Salem's too. It wasn't Salem's. It was the OG spellcaster. Okay. Right. But like, so she kind of, I think, hid her child away in like a human. See, there's that fucking bitch walking around in the background. They're always spying on him. They are like, what is he doing? I think that's it too, because like the Ayakashi people, they're sensing like fucking Elphaba and Simeon around all the fucking time. But Elphaba and Simeon are really good. See, now she's calling. She's like, what is she? Is she thinking about beating me up? What was she fucking thinking about? What was that thought bubble? Bitch, what are you doing? Are you texting? Who are you texting? Are you going to come after me? I'm going to come after you. You're down first. No, actually. Wait. No, that's okay. Never mind. I just saw red and blonde and I was like, is that Morgan? And I'm like, no, that's not the right outfit. Never mind. I was like, we actually have to take down Morgan first. So we're getting to that. That's going to be in the next part, I think. That's where we have to start. This bitch. Anyway. So she left her child with human, like, just kind of like church doorstep something. I don't know. I hate to say she abandoned her child, but she had to. She had no other choice. She knew. You know what I mean? Because she kind of ran away and hid. And then, but unfortunately the OG spellcaster, like, evil man found her, killed her, but the baby was safe. So, baby grows up, has kids, blah, blah, blah. And then one of them, like, and they have the spellcaster genetics, but if you're not harnessing your power, like, you might be able to do, like, little things. Like, the spellcaster abilities is not like, oh, one day I just wake up and I can do magic. It's like, you would know, like, if you were doing weird things, like, I was thinking how crappy it is. I was, like, really upset that it was raining, and, like, now the sun came out. Wow, that's conveniently weird. You'd be I mean, I don't know if you'd necessarily have that. I mean, well, OG spellcaster had a lot of strength, so maybe. But it wouldn't be like, all right, yes, actually, let's go. Like, poof, turn the TV on, do this. Because you wouldn't know how to control it. But you might be able to things might happen around you that were weird and strange. But if you don't harness the abilities, if you don't practice, if you don't learn, you're never going to be able to do shit. You know what I mean? Like, fucking Harry Potter, right? I talk to the snake. That's weird. You going about your day, you're not like, I'm a fucking wizard, until fucking Hagrid shows up and tells you, you're a wizard, Harry. You know what I mean? So, I was like, damn, hey, look at that outfit. God, I am so good. Hey, babe. Hey, baby. I kind of forgot. I keep forgetting we got engaged. Should we just marry him right away? Give him a suave kiss. We should go eat at the restaurant, but like, I guess we can request a table. Stage just keeps getting better. Abel really likes this restaurant. We always end up here. But right. So, and one of those children, though, ended up kind of being a little more in tune to their magical abilities, and kind of went and found the magic realm, and harnessed their abilities, and is Morgan, obviously. Hi. Yes. We don't... Okay, look. I am just going with... Okay, because in Morgan Saves the World... Okay, pause for a second on this. Back it up. In Morgan Saves the World, Yuki is actually Morgan's son. And in this, he's obviously not technically, Yuki is half Morgan in Cass. In this, there is no genetic relationship because Yuki is just a random sim and Morgan is a random sim and they just happen to exist in the world. But for the purposes of story, I was like, I kind of actually like it. I want Morgan to actually be related to you. Now, technically, that would make Morgan your dad. Even though Morgan is a young adult and you're a young adult. But then again, the spellcasters can keep themselves young, kind of like the Ayakashi spirits. Not all of them do, but some of them have that knowledge. Morgan, Elphaba, Simeon all have that knowledge. You know what I mean? Morgan could be our grandfather for all we fucking know. I don't know. He could be a cousin. I want to go with he's our dad. Morgan's our daddy. But here's the thing. Nobody knows about that. Because, like, I'm just going to guess that maybe... Well, no, actually, okay, so technically, Yuki is Morgan and Saint Germain. So, like... Morgan, obviously spellcaster, Saint Germain, not a spellcaster. So Yuki's other parent, not a spellcaster. Like Morgan having a little fling out there, non-spellcaster, even though spellcaster, we don't mix with the... Well, and I think maybe... So, the weirdest thing is, nobody knew with Morgan that he was descended from the OG spellcaster. Maybe Elphaba and Simeon suspected because he ended up being able to kind of come in, having magical abilities, and they're like, why was there a spellcaster out there that wasn't here, right? And he's 100% pure-blooded. I mean, because both of his parents were spellcasters. Actually, no, they weren't. His ancestors were. So no, all of his... Oh, right. They're not his parents. They're not our grandparents. It's descendant... Look, I got the timeline mixed up a little. But anyway, like that... So yeah, but Morgan having this ability, it's like, you're not even a pure-blooded spellcaster, and yet... Like, so there's obviously spellcasters that kind of live around the fringes and, like... marry humans and like marry spellcasters and whatever, and they don't give a shit. They're not like on this like, oh my god, they're not involved in this cult. The cult is still like, but there's still enough spellcasters that are involved in this cult that are, and especially it's a secret society, it's a secret cult, like not a, I think people suspect it, but it's one of those like freaking conspiracy theories kind of going around, you know? So Morgan coming in as like, okay, I'm a spellcaster that's descended from obviously spellcasters, but also humans. And being able to, like, okay, let's order for our table. Are you talking to me while I'm on a date, bitch? Get out. Bye, lady. Pleased to be leaving. Oh, unless you're ordering. Oh, are you my waitress? No? Let's just get... Let's get sour punches. Okay. And then we need real meals. Why don't we... What goes with a sour punch? Honeycomb vegetable cups? Space taco? Free range 6M pit beast? That looks like... It's so terrifying. Like... Sizzled brisket over... You know what? Let's do this. Let's just get those. Sure. Anyway, lady, get out of my... Why are you saying you don't like me? Why are you saying no to me, Abel? What the fuck? Anyway, so, like, they were really surprised. Because, like, I mean, yeah, sure, and then you can have great power. But they were actually surprised at the amount of power that Morgan had. Like, Morgan is just fucking phenomenal. Look, it's just because I love Morgan. We can't not have Morgan somewhere in this. I love him so much. I miss him. I really miss him. He's in none of my games right now, and I realized I was going through withdrawals. The other day, I was like, oh my god, we don't have Morgan anywhere, and I miss him so fucking much. I miss him. Oh my god. Like... But anyway, so... Who is this person? We're not... What? Where are all these people? Is that this guy? Ooh. Is that our waiter? He's embarrassed. Did he pee himself? I mean, sweetie, go pee, I guess. Oh my god, can you, like, freaking leave? MC Command Center, Sim Commands. delete. No. What was it on there? Cheats? Cheats. Yeah, please leave. Yeah, please leave. I'm trying to, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, so, you know, Morgan had so much fucking power and like rose so fast and like ended up becoming a sage so fast, and they were like, he's more powerful than us. And I think they might have been like, what is he like? But it wasn't until Yuki really kind of rolled in and the same thing, and like maybe they suspected, but I feel like they just kind of like weren't really, you know, it was just like, well, no, he just must be really adept at this, and like that's okay. But they were suspicious, but I don't think, the weird thing is they just kind of, I think, wrote Morgan off in a way, even though he's a sage with them. But like, I think it was more because, yes, he has a lot of power, but he didn't seem like, oh yeah, he's evil, whatever. Like that they just, you just forgot to look into him and figure out that he's related to the OG spellcaster, but yet you kind of figured it out about Yuki? You know what I mean? And I feel like it's because you're so pompous and full of yourself. This is why the spirits are going to kick your fucking ass. And that's why Raiden is dead. Like, Raiden was so pompous and full of himself, and they easily killed him. I mean, not easily, okay, really, but he ended up dead. And like, but yet, because you couldn't figure out that Morgan is related to the OG, like, look, okay, there's some like stupid shit happening here. It's really me, because I didn't really think about, I was like, why would they not know that Morgan is if they were like, Yuki is related to the OG spell? Morgan is better at hiding it, maybe? Like, maybe Morgan figured out his own heritage and kind of like, did things in secret and kind of held back what he showed people. You know what I mean? Because he didn't want people knowing that, because he knew the history. Yuki didn't know any of that. Like, because it's not something that you have access to. Like, they don't really want, like, they don't really talk about it. Like, there was a war, like, spirits are evil, but they don't want to talk about the crazy psycho dude, right? Like, they don't really, like, tell you too much about it. Like, you think it's really weird. You'd think they'd want, like, but they kind of gloss over the history, unless you're in the cult, right? But Morgan kind of found out all the information, having access to all the tomes and everything that a sage has and whatever, and just being fucking wonderful, precious, beautiful, precious baby Morgan, right? Can you eat your food? Oh, take a photo and then eat it. You know, so... But Yuki kind of, being as, you know, kind of naive and innocent as he is, even though he's a fucking genius, you know, was just always really excitable. Like, I look at all these powers that I have. Like, and he always had a lot as a kid. But, you know, so they found him early. They found him. Because he was just like, shit was happening around him. Because he has, you know, more of the abilities. Like, could you get out of my way, lady? I'm trying to watch them on a date. God. Stupid bitch in my way. But they kind of suspected about Yuki. Like, they don't know what his heritage is. He's like, no, my mom, and I never met my dad, and like, whatever. Or his dad, and he never met his other dad. Oh, look, whatever. I don't know. Are we keeping Saint Germain as dad? Then my one dad, and I don't know my other parent. I don't know. You know? Which I think Morgan... Well, I mean, he's Yuki Saint Germain, so he's got to be Saint Germain's getaway. So look, we're just going to pretend that they were in this game. I think that they were like, they knew, like, let's not tell him about this. You know what I mean? Because Morgan figured out who he was, but didn't want that burden on Yuki. Because, and he kind of kept it hidden from everyone else who he was, even though maybe Elphab and Simeon were kind of suspicious, but Morgan was like, what? No, that's crazy, because like, whatever, and like, you know, because you think people would be, yes, I'm totally descended from the most powerful fucking spellcaster there ever was, right? And there were so many people who would come forward and be like, I'm totally am, and aren't. You know what I mean? It's kind of like everybody being like, oh my god, yeah, like, we're totally Native American, we're like Cherokee. Like, fucking seriously, you know how many people say that shit? Like, Totally descendants of Pocahontas. Yes, you and everyone else in the country. That seems like bullshit. It's physically impossible. But you go on with that. You know what I mean? Like, there's always people who say shit like that. So, like, it's no different in the spellcaster world. Like, oh yeah, we're totally all descendants of the earth. And they're like, no, you're not. So, like, when with Morgan, they kind of suspected, but he was like, "What? No, that's ridiculous. Like, I can trace my family back, and like, whatever. You know, they were just regular spellcasters. You know, purposely left out the. Actually, yes, I am pretty sure. Don't wanna. Don't want any of that because he kind of. Morgan was kind of figuring out about the secret society and that cult and everything, and he knows more than he should know. But they don't know that he knows because they're so like, we are so much smarter than everyone. No, you're not. Oh, and like Morgan actually is far more powerful than them, but he also doesn't let that out. You know what I mean? He is really good at covering himself, being like, I rose up to being a sage pretty fast, but then he was also like, but I held back powers when you would have duels. He could easily beat Elphaba and Simeon, but he made sure he didn't because he didn't want them. Because he always had suspicions and things were like, as he was like, he was really in tune with figuring this out and being like, I am kind of suspicious of you. There's a secret site. I don't want you to know this. And like, so he was really good at kind of manipulating that kind of stuff, right? Yuki not knowing any of this is just like, I am super powerful, awesome! And like, because he's so innocent and doesn't think about it. So they kind of suspected, like, oh, you know what? I bet he is the OG spellcaster, like, whatever. And they couldn't really figure it out. You know, there's no way they could trace it back, but they could just, you know, they guessed. It was a really good guess, especially because, you know, that OG spellcaster energy, right, that they all take in. Raiden could take it all in because he built himself up. He didn't take all of it. Everyone in the cult has a little bit, you know? But it also is something that is very hard to sustain. That's almost like the rite of passage to get into the cult, right? Here's a little bit of the OG spellcaster energy, and if you can survive taking that shit, then you're fine. You know what I mean? And most people, it's suffering, it's kind of painful, it's uncomfortable, you know what I mean? But you manage, and like, you have to, you know? Because it's just a little, but it's kind of like, okay, you get the flu shot, and then you get a little bit of the, you're like, I kind of feel run down and like, shit, I got a little bit of the flu, right? Sucks. It'd be like that, but like, you know, no one is ever like, we give you some of it, and then you're like, what? What happened? Like, you have no fucking clue what happened. They did that to Yuki. They secretly did it to him. You know what I mean? And nothing happened. They were like, he's obviously related to him because he didn't even get, like, he didn't suffer, he didn't feel pain, he did nothing, you know? And so, I think they were literally kind of dosing him with this spirit energy, like this energy. The spellcaster's not Ayakashi spirit, but like ghost spirit energy, like whatever. You know what I mean? Which made Yuki even more powerful than he was to begin with. And so it was like, he didn't join the secret society. They were like, huh, okay, we gotta manipulate him because Yuki is too fucking smart and he's too good. He's too good. You know what I mean? Even after kind of dosing him with this, they were like, he's still too good. What the fuck is happening? And like, he's so like innocent and sweet and like wants to be friends with everybody. And when they tried talking to him, like, oh yeah, like this Ayakashi spirits, he's like, well, like, because he's the special, like, but he's like, so why do we hate them though? I don't understand. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, okay, bad shit happened, but like, can we get over it? Like, because of Morgan's influence, like, Morgan was always very, like, without doing it on purpose, Morgan would always kind of like, oh, we just ran into each other and like, blah, blah, blah. And like, Yuki kind of looked up to Morgan, not knowing it's his dad. You know what I mean? Obviously, because Yuki and like, Morgan's only a few years older than me. Not really. Morgan's just really good at taking potions. And Yuki has figured out this age down potion is like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? So they were like, oh, hey, you know what we want you to do? We want you to go to this. And they were thinking, what we really need help with, because here's the thing that the spirits did, and it was terrible. They killed one of our friends. And like, we need you to go and, you know, like resurrect him. You have the ability, like you know, whatever. So Yuki was like, oh, okay, like I don't mind helping people because it's the sages. Like the sages ask you to do this. Like of course you're gonna do. Like my God, that's a high honor. They asked you to do something. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go. Why are you tired? Oh, it's 12 a.m. Why are we still here? Or whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, so of course he went because they were thinking, well, what's gonna happen? He'll resurrect Raiden, and Raiden will kill him. Like, Raiden will kill Yuki, it's fine. And then, like, because, you know, they kind of knew, like, well, Raiden knows that, like, and Raiden was also like, did you just betray the cult? I'll kill you and take that energy. Like, because I think they kind of suspected Raiden might be doing that to, like, low-lying members. People would disappear, and they're like, is it the spirits, or is Raiden killing them? I don't know! Like, Raiden's really fucking evil, okay? He's got a lot of that spellcaster in him. And they were like, well, maybe Raiden will kill Yuki. Or Yuki will bring Raiden back, and then Raiden will be like, oh my God, the spellcasters killed me, and blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of a way to manipulate Yuki onto their side. With the more, go, resurrect Raiden. We get Yuki out of the fucking way because he asks too many questions. Like, two? Like, everyone else just kind of minds their business, but he's asking too many questions. He's got too much power. We think he's related to the OG spellcaster. He's taken on all this energy. He's not evil. He's still so goddamn sweet and innocent. And I don't know, this doesn't bode well. Maybe if we send him, then the Ayakashi spirits will either kill him, or he'll resurrect Raiden. Raiden will kill him, or maybe Raiden can get him onto our side. But anyway, if he manages to get there and doesn't end up dead, he'll resurrect Raiden, and that would help us. Because they didn't want to send themselves. You know what I mean? They were, like, worried about, like, is the spirits going to kill us? Like, they killed Raiden? So they're like, we'll send Yuki. That's perfect. Send that asshole! Not really. And that's why they're always watching him, too. They're like, he is not dead. And they see him chatting with the thing, and they're like, but they don't realize also that he's got a lot of magical ability because as all of our boys have been watching him, they have also been protecting him because they started to realize, like, they suspected he was this special. They've realized, they're like, yeah, no, he really is. Should we tell him about the fucking prophecy? I think we should tell him about the prophecy. So, I mean, that's probably what Abel's telling him about the prophecy. So here you go. Here's the prophecy, and this is it. You're going to help us stop the spellcasters. So, that's basically where we are, and that's what's going to happen. We should probably have to fucking... Did I ever write down that we gotta battle fucking Raiden anywhere? Because I feel like we're gonna have to do that, because he's evil. We gotta take this motherfucker out again. But we've still got more stories to go. So, in the next part, which will be later this week... Hold on, where's my book? We are going to... Oops! Yeah, we gotta go battle Morgan this week. So, obviously, Morgan is his dad. Morgan is not evil, but... he's still got to go battle Morgan to take down the sages to just, you know. But they don't know that Morgan's not evil. They're just thinking he's one of the sages and the sages are evil. They don't know that Morgan's, like, totally not. So, you know, we're going to have to kind of, like, Yuki's going to have a discussion with Morgan and some other shit like, hi, I'm your dad, actually. So, like, but also not evil and... cool, you can best me. And, like, I think Morgan would absolutely throw the fight. You know what I mean? Like, Morgan would be like, I'm not going to bring my best. Like, I need you to... you actually... Well, Morgan would be like, I'm going to bring my best. You have to bring your best. You actually have to defeat me. I don't know if it's going to work, though. I don't know if Yuki's powerful enough to, like... Actually, he should be. He knows every fucking spell and potion. Not even Morgan does. But... you know what I mean? Like, he still has to battle them, but he's not going to obviously kill Morgan, because Morgan's good. But he still has to battle him. And Morgan is the first step. Morgan is actually more powerful than Simeon and Alphaba, but, you know, he's the good one. So we're going to battle Morgan so that he can learn that last spell. That's really why we're doing it. Then we're going to go visit Orion and get a little more backstory, the little bit last backstory of that. Then we're going to have to battle Elphaba. Then we're going to go to Gale's house and learn the rest of that backstory. Then we have to battle Simeon. Then we go with Abel to learn the rest of that. Then we battle Raiden. Okay, but that's going to be easy because Raiden doesn't know any spells. But shh, just pretend. But we'll have to take out Raiden, so we do take out Raiden. So we're gonna be now going every other episode after this week. So we got one more episode. We got to battle Morgan, and we're gonna have to have a little chat with our dad. Yuki's gonna find his dad. Excuse me, have you seen my dad? He's like an orange stripy fish. Looks like me. Anyway, and then so we'll battle kind of Raiden, and then we'll just have like a little wrap up episode where we just kind of chill out, hang out. Maybe we get them married. I don't know. Oh my god, are we gonna invite Morgan, our dad? That'll be so cute. We might have to. I'm gonna have to MC Command Center it, but like when we battle Elphaba and Simeon, we're gonna actually kill them. We're not gonna kill Morgan because he's good. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have to like MC Command Center death by over and like kill Raiden. So we're gonna actually have to kill them. So poor Yuki is now being told like, so you're the special. You're gonna have to kill them. But, you know, he's going to have to defeat Morgan, but he's not going to have to kill Morgan because Morgan's not evil and it's not taking out the cult. So, but he's going to learn that in the next part. I just had to tell you because, like, I'm not going to kill Morgan. I will fucking find a way to not kill that. I love him too much, okay? No. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up here because it actually went on longer than I thought. I didn't think it was going to take this long to explain the story. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up. And subscribe to see more.